Hey folks, how you doing? So this ain't really so much about closing, but the overall picture of the month. So, closing out a month, we started a new month. It's the first now. And, my team of guys is telling me, we're going through our goals and what we're going to hit next month and all that good stuff. But, I'm sitting down with the same people and they're telling me, hey man, I did a really good job. I closed at 47% this month. So, man, if I just had more customers, I would have done a better job. Salesperson B, oh, I did a really great job. I closed at 52% this month. Well, guess what? Who cares what your closing ratio is if you're not getting paid, right? So how are you going to get paid? You're going to take more customers. What's going to happen when you take more customers? Your closing ratio is going to go down. Who gives a shit what your closing ratio is, right? If you do the right things with your customers, you're going to close a decent amount of customers and you're going to make enough money. But the closing ratio doesn't really pay you unless you're one of those great guys, which we have. I've been around a guy before that closes very high, 80%. He sells 60 cars a month, right? That's not most people. That's not me. So again, I don't care what my closing ratio is. I care what I get paid. And the one thing I know I need to do is I need to take lots of ups. I need to take 60 ups a month, right? But for me, to classify an up, I needed to present them numbers, and to present them numbers, I needed to show them a vehicle. So if I can do all those three things, and I close at 30%, or I close at 22%, or I close at 60%, great. But one thing I do know is for me to really constitute who I'm closing and who I'm not closing, I need to, one, take a customer, as many as I can, and do the right things what I'm doing. Two, I need to test drive that customer in a car that they actually would purchase, right? Even if it's 6 months down the road, if it's in a year, they can see themselves owning that vehicle. And three, I need to present them numbers and try to close it. So if I'm doing all those three things at the end of the month, I then can say to myself, hey, I did a good job. I closed at 34% and I sold whatever, 27 cars, and it paid me XYZ. But so realistically, when you close out the end of the month, right, it's over, hero to zero. Everybody hears it, but don't concentrate so much on what your closing ratio is, right? Concentrate on what your paycheck is and what your commissions are, because that always helps you. Your per copy is what I always looked at. But also concentrate on, how far you're getting each customer through the process. If you take each customer through the process one step further than you think you can get them, you're going to sell more cars. If you sell more cars, your closing ratio is going to go up, and guess what? Your paycheck's going to go up. But again, don't worry about that stuff, right? So it's a new month for my guys. So what I tell them is, take every single customer and do all the right steps with them. And at the end of the month, we'll count the money, and we're not going to worry about what the ratios are. So again, take all the customers, close all the deals, try the best you can. But again, hero to zero. That's how this business works. Forget about what you did last month, unless you're going to tune it up and become better. Analyze that to be better, but don't analyze it to say, the reasons I didn't succeed is because I did such a good job, because that makes no sense, okay? So again, closing ratios, throw them out the door. Some people go, oh, I can't believe you said that, right? It's all about the paycheck. It's about actual real content on what you're getting out of your customers.